everyone. I'm going to do a simple one today. I don't feel like getting too complicated. You're going to be seeing this right around my 38th wedding anniversary, so congratulations to us. And I just don't feel like doing anything overly complicated, so I'm not gonna. I'm going to do basically the Tangle pattern and Zeppel. It's N''Zeppel or LE. Not sure how it's spelled. But basically, you draw yourself a little grid and then you go over it, rounding the corners. I'm just going to do that real quick. I'm going to do it in a not grid though. So I think they call it Crazy and Zeppel is what they call it. You can look it up. I'm going to make myself a quick little border here. And I'm going to do some non-standard grid with my pencil. I think I want some corners like so. That'll work. Something like that. I just made some random lines. And yes, I do it with pencil. I'm not following the official Zentangle method, so there's that. But anyway, oh, I wanted to use the O2. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to swap out my nib, and I'm going to put a new cartridge in. So I've got a new cartridge. This is the ink cartridge B for sizes, those sizes. 02, 025, 03, 035, so forth and so on. Size A is 0.03, 0.05, and 0.1. I think the difference is that the ink in this one is thinner because of the tinier nib. But this is my 02, and I bought spare nibs. I'm just going to swap that out real quick because there she be. How do I open this without? There we go. There are two in here. I'm going to take one out, put all the rest back. I want to thank you guys for watching my videos and watching the ads, because this is how I can afford to do these kinds of things. Put that back in there very gently, just like so. And then we do the same thing for the ink. I'm going to take this out. Carefully remove this so we don't get ink everywhere. That's the end to it. You can see how much ink is left in it. This one, I can see that it's drying up over here. I don't know how dry it is, but I can see it's drying up. I can tell that this is really much thicker. So I'm just going to pop that in there. And pop that in there. And I'm assuming then I need to write with this a little bit to make sure that it's working. So I'm going to get a scrap piece of paper. Is that all the way in? Might not be all the way in. Oh. Did put it all the way in, right? Let me look at another one. Yep, that looks like that's right. Maybe you need to let it soak for a while. Maybe you can't just swap out the nibs and use it right away. So, okay, well, at least you've seen how it's done. We'll give that a rest and come back to it in a little while. I need to read about how long that takes for the ink to start flowing. Maybe I need to put it nib side down. I don't usually store them that way, but maybe that's how the ink starts to flow. Okay, we'll do it with the next size up. But this is interesting to look at. This is what the inside of that nib looks like. It's got a little tube. And that's the tip right there. It's very small. Very, very, very small. Okay, I'm going to put this with this so I don't lose that and that. Okay, let's use the next size up. Let's use an 05. And then all you got to do for this, I'm going to zoom in. Remind me that I've zoomed in. And all you got to do on this is just follow this, but curve that line. And when you get to a corner, just curve it. Just like that. That's all there is to it. And you just do everything, single piece, just like that. You just want curvy. It kind of ends up looking like cobblestones. And of course, if I was doing an official Zentangle piece, I would have some sort of string and maybe combine it with some other patterns, but not what I'm doing. And yes, I use pencil, and yes, I erase. Don't come at me, people, because I clearly say that I do not do Zentangle. I do Tangle patterns. And I actually follow CPT, which is Creative Pattern Tangling, which works differently, and one of the main differences is that yes, we plan things out in pencil. It's one of the big differences. But as I'm doing this, I'm going to think about my husband and all the wonderful years we've had together. 38 years, I can't hardly believe that. You know, back when I got married, did I ever think I'd be married for 38 years? I sure as heck didn't. Mostly because I didn't have, growing up, a good role model for that. I didn't see people who were married that long. My mother was divorced twice by the time I got married. My father was divorced twice by the time I got married. My grandparents were divorced. Not my father's parents, but my mother's parents were divorced. So people staying together for an extended period of time was not in my wheelhouse. It was in my husband's wheelhouse. He fully expected to be married forever. But I just sort of grew up assuming that it didn't last. That after, well, I believe my mother, her longest marriage relationship was 7 years prior to my marriage. And So when we got close to 7 years, I was waiting for the shoe to drop, for him to just say, yeah, I'm done. Let's break up, because that was been my experience. And when it didn't come, I was really, to be honest, not too sure what to do with myself. And it's been those years since year 7 that have been the best, because I was in new uncharted territory, and I was blazing a trail, so to speak, for our family, and creating a new family dynamic, and it was kind of exciting. As it turns out, right around when I got married, my mother also got remarried. My father also got remarried. And both of those marriages, all those marriages that happened within that early 80s time frame, they lasted. My dad's marriage lasted until he passed. My mom's marriage is continuing. Yay them. So it's been a good, that early 80s was a good decade for marriages in our family, and making them last, which is cool. Let me know in the comments below, how long have you guys been married, if you are with a partner. If not, that's cool too. You know, everybody's in different stages of their life. There was obviously a period of my life where I was not married, and that's cool. Don't have to be. If you're with somebody and you've been with them a long time, let me know how long that is. Let me know how long your parents or your grandparents have been together. Because it's not easy to stay. It's much easier to leave. Even though it seems like it would be harder to leave, I think it's harder to stay. We've not had all, roses and daisies for our entire married life. There have been rough patches, and we chose to stay. And I think that made us all the stronger, and it's worth it, Unless you're talking about like abuse. Abuse is not worth it. There's no reason for abuse. But if you're not talking abuse, if you're just talking about just general hard times and tough seasons of life, you know what this kind of looks like? It also turns out that when you color it in like that, it looks like neurotangling. But you approach it in a different manner, And there's a variation on this that then uses straight lines. And I don't remember the name of that variation. I haven't used it in a very long time, but I think I might do that in here. Where you do this. And make it sort of a petal. But I don't recall the name of the pattern. It is a named pattern, but I don't recall the name. If you guys remember the name of this pattern, let me know. I'm sure I could look it up in one of my older sketchbooks. Makes it look like a flower. Just like that. I'll put one there. Maybe put one here. When I think of flowers and I think of my husband, I think of carnations. He's always given me carnations when he gives me flowers. Let's do one there too. Carnations is what I chose in my wedding bouquet. Do I like roses? Yes, absolutely. Rose is also one of my favorite fragrances. But carnations is what the love language that my husband uses, and so those are the flowers that really make me happy, because that's the flower he chooses to gift and is the love language, which is lovely. There we go. I like that. I think I'm going to give them a little bit of color. I know that there's a name for that. I now it's driving me crazy. I'm going to have to look it up. Let's see. Old sketchbooks. 2016. Nope, probably earlier than that. 2020. 2014, 15, maybe in here. Let me see. Let me flip through this real quick. I'm going to zoom you guys out so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to see if I can find there it is. There it is. Did I write on the back what it was called? Nymph. Nymph. That is what it's called. Okay. So I did more of a nymph than an enzeppel, but I did sort of a combination of both. So we're going to sign it. We're going to call it in. I'm not sure which one it is. or it's a combination of both. Let's give this guy a little bit of color with just my markers, I think. We're going to go with a teal. Just doing a quick pass of color. Nothing exciting. Nothing difficult. Let's do a purple. I kind of ended up more pink, but that's okay. Pink is good. Like that. And let's do a blue. Oh, that ends up looking green. Well, that would make sense. Yellow paper, blue pen, green flower. That's okay. That's a little light. Maybe I'll add some purple to that. Let's add a little purple to that. See what happens. Well, that's better. Like that. And then let's do a little shading on the rest of it. Just on a couple of edges. I'm just going to do it in the ones that I didn't put lines in. Just like that. There we go. I like it. Something simple, something easy, and something that just, yeah, fills my heart because I'm thinking of my husband. You know, that happens sometimes when you're doing your art. If you think about some person or thing or situation, as you put it down on your art, it makes you, it just gives you feelings. It gives you warm fuzzies. So, yeah. You guys have a great day. I will see you on the next video. On the next one, I think I might do a little more neurotangling just because I feel like it. And I will see you guys later. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.